Good afternoon. Hope everyone can hear me. My name is LeByron Dennis, and today I will be presenting a video or training on violations and audits that can happen in a forensic laboratory. Shall we begin? First thing on the list is quality assurance versus quality control. The concept of quality assurance has been an essential element of modern forensic science. It ensures that the consistent set of standards and integrity are placed across all forensic science laboratories. This is done by ensuring that reliable and accurate testing is carried out at all times. As part of quality assurance, quality control checks must be completed to ensure that test results obtained are valid and reliable, and ensure that the standard of quality is maintained. What is laboratory accreditation? It uses specific criteria and procedures based upon accepted standards to ensure that a laboratory is competent to generate and interpret results that are accurate, reliable, and use industry's best practices. Includes staff competence, training, continuing education, test method validity, and appropriateness, tractability of measurements and calibrations of national standards, sustainability, calibration, and maintenance of test equipment, testing environment, documentation, sampling, and handling test items, and quality assurance of data, including reporting results and proficiency tests. Benefits for being accredited. Laboratory accreditation benefits laboratories by allowing them to determine whether they are performing their work correctly to appropriate standards, and provides them with the benchmark for maintaining that competence. Many such laboratories operate in isolation from their peers and rarely, if ever, receive any independent technical evaluation as a measure of their performance. Regular assessment by accreditation body checks all aspects of a facility operations related to the consistency, producing accurate and dependable data. Areas for improvement are identified and discussed, and a detailed report is provided at the end of each visit, where necessary follow-up action is mentioned by accreditation body, so the facility is confident that has taken the appropriate corrective action. In addition to commercial testing and collaboration service, manufacturing organizations may use laboratory accreditation to ensure the testing. Countries without viable accreditation systems can seek to have their laboratories accredited by established accreditation systems, so their test data and associated goods can be accepted on foreign markets. These countries can also endure to develop their own accreditation system based on structure and experience of established systems in other countries. Now I'm going to get ready to talk about the audit process. 1 second. The audit process. There are 5 phases of the audit process: selection, planning, execution, reporting, and then a follow-up. During the selection phase, internal audit The internal audit conducts a risk assessment near the end of each calendar year. Develop the audit plan for the significant year based on the results of the assessment and the departments available for resources. During the planning phase of each project, the internal audit staff gather relevant background information and ignite contact with the client. Auditors meet with leadership and clients to identify risks to determine the objectives and scope of the audit, as well as the timing and field work and the report distribution. The next phase, execution phase. Field work is executed by the internal audit staff. Clients are kept informed of the audit process through regular status meetings and discuss audit observations, potential findings, and recommendations with the client as they are identified. The reporting phase. It's a summary of all the audit findings, conclusions, specific recommendations are communicated to the client through a draft report. Clients had the opportunity to respond to the report and submit action plan and a time frame. These responses become part of the final report, which is distributed to the appropriate level of administration. In the follow-up phase, the internal audit follows up on all audit findings which within 1 year when the original report was issued. And in conclusion, give me a second. After the audit has been performed, systematic improvement of services requires objective measurement, people, practices, and organization against the reasonable explicit standards. Identify, implement appropriate change. Laboratory-based clinical audits are an essential part of total quality management. They are necessary for good clinical governance. They have been found helpful developing guidelines for testing, assessing test utilization, and various quality assurance programs in the laboratory. And that is the conclusion of my video. Are there any questions?